Please set in a comfortable meditation posture and close the eyes. Put your attention on the silence. It is always there deep in the mind. Connect with that silence. Become the silence. You are the silent witness. Established as the silent witness, listen to the Yoga Vashishta, Book 5, Chapter 12, continuing with verse 18. A good understanding, assisted by the power of good perception, leads to the knowledge of that highest state, which acts of piety cannot do. He who has the keen light of the lamp of his perception always before him is able to see both the past and future. No shadow of ignorance intercepts his vision. Through keen perception, he is able to cross the sea of dangers, like a passenger using a boat to cross a river. A man without foresight is overtaken even by small mishaps. Like a light straw is blown away by the slightest breeze. One who is endowed with foresight passes over the eventful ocean of the world without need of the assistance of friends or the guidance of scriptures. The man with foreknowledge sees the result of his actions beforehand. But one without foresight is at a loss to judge imminent events. So what is this foresight that is being mentioned here? He says in verse 18, the power of good perception. He who has the keen light of the lamp of his perception always before him. We're speaking of someone who is established in the silent witness. Silent witness, of course, is in various levels. But each level of the silent witness is a step above the previous level or kosha that is being observed. At the beginning of our adventure into the depths of the silent witness, we contact the silent witness in the pranamaya kosha. This is the tip silent witness that is available to everyone. The problem of Kali Yuga is almost no one is able to perceive and stay connected with the silent witness. This is mainly because the pranamaya kosha is not integrated properly with the annamaya kosha, the physical body. By lack of integration of the pranamaya kosha and the annamaya kosha, the physical body and the prana body, the physical body is cut off from its source of energy, of light, of perception, of being able to know and see what is truly going on in his life. The individual is hardly alive, barely alive, even though the body is designed to live for 100,000 years. It can barely last for 100 years. This is like any kind of machine that has a very weak connection with its power source. It functions very dimly. Once we connect with the pranamaya kosha, it is a dramatic change. When we connect with the silent witness, we are connecting with the pranamaya kosha, with the subconscious mind, with the seat of our creativity in this illusory universe. There are so many children's stories about superheroes, Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman. The list is very long. Why do children enjoy this? Why do many adults enjoy this type of role playing? Faster than a speeding bullet, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. This is not Superman. This is normal man. We are so far from normal man that when we see some representation, we think, oh, that must be Superman. But just connecting with a silent witness is the beginning of the integration of prana body and physical body. It's done from the side of the prana body. Then we employ techniques on the side of the physical body, such as pranayama, moving the breath in various ways, employing also our imagination in the process of the movement of the breath. This further helps in this integration of the two bodies. But ultimately, the integration of prana body and physical body results in balancing of huge amounts of individual karmic traces. The karmic traces keep the two bodies separate. The karmic traces on the level of the physical body are mostly at fault here. Once this integration is taking place, it truly changes everything. The individual can do things that normal people just can't do. But everybody should be normal. Everybody should be able to do these things, should be able to see both the past and future. And it is possible. Good company and leading strength, understanding, just as watering a plant helps it grow and bear fruit. Good company and learning. Another very, very important ingredient to correct the defects found in the life of one in Kali Yuga. Community is not a luxury, not even an option. It is a requirement. And now even a requirement for staying alive in this Kali Yuga. Look what's happening. Those we have allowed to have authority over us, governments, are working desperately to destroy the connection between individuals, breaking up families, fracturing society. We have to go in the opposite direction. Infinite understanding, like a tender shoot, takes a deep root in time, and having grown up like a tree, it bears sweet fruit in its season, like cooling moonbeams at night. Whatever efforts men make to acquire external property, they would be better served to devote those efforts to improve their understanding. First, dullness of understanding must be destroyed, for it is the source of all evils, the storehouse of misery, and the root of the tree of worldliness. Great-minded men understand whatever good they may expect to find on this earth, in heaven above, and in the world below. Only through good understanding can a man cross the ocean of the world, and not by his charities, pilgrimage, or religious austerities. Good understanding is the connection with the silent witness, from where everything is known. Disconnection from the silent witness and everything is unknown. Perceptions are extremely limited, only to the physical realm, without the connection of the silent witness. The sweet fruit of tree knowledge is the divine blessing for each mortal man on earth. Wisdom uses its sharp nails to scratch and nip the heads of the elephantine bonds of giddiness with as much ease as a strong lion kills a deer or a weak jackal. An ordinary man, by knowing more than others, is often seen to become the ruler of men. The wise and discreet are entitled to glory in both worlds. Simple reason overcomes all its adversaries who indulge in diverse, convoluted forms of reasoning. Just as a disciplined warrior is able to overcome a host of unrestrained savages. Reasoning is the philosopher's stone that converts base metals to gold. Rational souls safeguard reasoning as the greatest treasure. It yields the desired fruits of men, like the wish-fulfilling kalpa tree of paradise does with a thought. He who reasons rightly crosses the wide ocean of the world with his reasoning, while the unreasonable rabble are borne away by its waves. Just as a skillful boatman cuts across the current, while the unskilled boatman is tossed about by waves. A well-dressed understanding leads to the success of an undertaking, but misguided intellect goes to rack and ruin. The one sails to the shore before the wind, but the other is tossed in his wrecked vessel over the wide gulf of the world. The keen-sighted and unbiased wise man is never overcome by evils arising from his desires. Just as an enemy's arrows do not pierce the body of a soldier in armor. A man's wisdom gives him an insight into everything in the world. The all-knowing man is not subject to dangers or reverses of his fortune. The breath of intelligence drives away the dark and wide-stretching cloud of blind egoism that hides the sunlight of the Supreme Spirit within us. Improvement of understanding is the first necessity towards knowledge of the Supreme Soul. Just as cultivation of the ground is of primary importance to the farmer, who desires reaping a rich harvest. Chapter 13, Government of the Mind. Consciousness is real. Mind, imagination, and will is not. Vashishta continued. Now Ram, like King Janaka, and without any difficulty or failing, reflect on the Supreme Spirit in your own spirit and know what the wise meditate upon. The wise men of the active, pure variety, Rajasa Sattvika, like Janaka and other holy sages, obtain their desired objects by themselves. As long as you continue to restrain your organs of sense from their objects, divine soul, the silent witness, will grace your inner soul with its presence. This is why we close our eyes when we meditate. We're restraining the organ of vision. We meditate in a quiet place, free from distraction, to restrain the organ of hearing. We put our attention on the silence deep within the mind. And then we become the silent witness. When the Lord God and Supreme Soul is gracious to you, you will see a halo of light cast over all things, dispersing all grief from your sight. The sight of the Supreme Spirit will remove the plentiful seeds of bias from your mind, and it will drive away the sorrowful sights of misery pouring upon your view in copious showers. Here we have a clear statement of what happens when we connect with the silent witness. From the level of the silent witness, as we become the silent witness, we literally become the antidote for every possible karmic trace, both individual karmic traces and divine karmic traces. And that's all we have to do. Balancing karmic traces is the only thing we must do. We have only one ability as human beings. We can think a thought. This implies we can think any thought. We can initiate a thought. we can bring a thought into being in our mind. It behooves us to bring a thought into being that has the power to balance karmic traces. This optimizes every second. This is why we think the mantra. It has that ability. And when we think the mantra while connected with the silent witness, we have increased the power of the mantra 1,000-fold. Now, while remaining established in the silent witness, let us begin Trimana Sanyama on the esoteric Maha Mantra, and allow this powerful technique to balance all karmic traces that have been touched upon and enlivened by today's reading. Jai Gurudev.